Okay, so today we'll be doing the module 10, which is automatic scaling and monitoring. So here we'll see what is elastic load balancing, how we can balance load in an elastic fashion, what is Amazon CloudWatch, how we can perform EC2 compute engine auto scaling. That means how can we increase and decrease the number of EC2 instances that we'll see. Then we'll see the elastic load balancing activity, CloudWatch activity. We'll go for a lab. So lab will be in the next episode. And after completing this module, we should be able to know that how the EC2 instance can take distributed traffic. We have to identify how CloudWatch enables you to monitor AWS resources. How EC2 auto-scaling launches and release servers in response to workload changes. That means if we have a heavy workload, how instance automatically will turn up and they will go down when there is no proper load. So that we have to see. So first is load balancing. Now in AWS, we have a proper load balancer. And in this load balancing, the load is distributed. That means the incoming application or network traffic, it is distributed across multiple targets in a single availability zone or across multiple availability zone. That means either you will be having the compute instances in a single availability zone, or you may be having the instances in a region spanned through the different availability zones. Now we'll scale the load balancer as the traffic changes. That means if there is a less traffic, then instances will be less. More traffic, instances will be more. Now, it is not only the matter of EC2 instances, it is the matter of containers running IP addresses, Lambda functions. That means whatever load is there, with the help of elastic load balancer, it will go through more or less number of instances, more or less number of containers, IP addresses, and Lambda functions. Now, load balancers, they are of three categories. First is application load balancers. They take care of any kind of HTTP and HTTPS traffic. Okay. They route traffic to target based on content of request. They provide advanced request routing target at delivery of modern application architectures, including microservices and containers. Operates at the application layer. So that is why they are called application load balancers. Network load balancers, they deal with TCP, UDP, TLS traffic. Okay, transport layer security. They route traffic to target based on IP protocol data. They can handle million of requests per second because, as you know, if you are talking about the packets, there will be millions of packets. It is optimized to handle sudden and violent traffic pattern. Okay. And they work on layer number 4. That is the transport layer. And third one is a classic load balancer. It is a simple old generation, you can say, balancer, which balances all kind of application specific load across multiple instances, and you can say it is a kind of combination of these two both. Okay. Now you can see here in this scenario where load balancers, you can register the truck. Now here you are seeing different kind of load balancer. That means classic load balancer, you register instance with a load balancer. So you can see here that in availability zone A, you have a load balancer. In B, you have a load balancer. And you have different targets. In the load balancer, you have listeners, which listens to the traffic, and accordingly they are balanced among different compute instance or container or whatever. Now, if you are going for elastic load balancing, then if you involve elastic load balancing, then you will be having highly available and fault tolerant application. First of all, this is the advantage. Second is you can go for containerized application. That means you can go for a microservices kind of application where you have container orchestrations. So that can be done. Then you have elasticity and scalability. That means if you have thousands of users connected and if you have only 10 users connected, it will behave in a similar fashion. You can have the advantage of VPC. That means everything will be isolated to other, you can say, regions, and it will be secure. You can go for hybrid environment. That means you can connect your cloud with on-premises data center. You can invoke Lambda functions as much as you can. Okay. So if you compare here, depending upon the needs, you have the load balancers. If you are handling the containers, application load balancer. If you are handling TCP traffic, network load balancing. Simple load balancing with multiple protocols, classic load balancer. Elastic IP related thing, network load balancers. Million of request, network load balancer. HTTP request, application load balancer. हाँ जी, हेलो, हाँ बोलिए। हेलो। हम्म। अरे यार, अब रफली 4 साल का देते हैं वो लोग। So we were talking about load balancing. So load balancing can be monitored with CloudWatch, CloudTrail logs. So we have gone through that we can perform all kind of load balancing with three categories of load balancers available in AWS. So depending upon the type of traffic, we can assign either application load balancer, network load balancer, classic load balancers. Now, if you come to the second thing, which is a CloudWatch, now cloud where you can watch the different activities. So how do you know when you should launch more EC2 instances? Okay, now. So that we should know. Is your application's performance or availability being affected by lack of sufficient capacity? This you have to see. How much infrastructure is actually used? So all kind of watch activities you can do with CloudWatch. So it monitors your resources, applications, it collects and tracks metrics, custom metrics if you want. It alarms you with SNS. Okay. It can perform auto scaling. It defines rules to match. They are done with CloudWatch. So you can go for CloudWatch alarms with any kind of static threshold, anomaly detection, matrix math expression. You can specify namespace, matrix, statics, period, etc. And you can create alarms. Now, you can, this is a kind of example where if your CPU utilization is greater than 60% for 5 minutes, okay, if the number of simultaneous connection to RDS is greater than 10 for 1 minute, if bucket size is around 3 for 1 day, okay, so you can go for all these activities. So you can specify these things. This you can't specify, this you can't specify, this is wrong. So these kind of things you can specify. Okay. Then we come to auto scaling. Now what happens is, if on the hard fact size, that means if you want that, okay, I am instantiating 10 EC2 instance. Why? Because the maximum peak load is 10. So what will happen? At some point of time, some capacity is unused. If you reduce it, so that is the thing. So what you can do is you can go, if load is less, you have less number of instances. If load is more, you can go for a more number of instances. So it is properly utilized. Okay. So you can do that. So if you go for provisioned capacity, the challenges is to efficiently guess the unknown quantity, how much compute capacity you need. So you can create auto scaling groups. So in auto scaling group, you go for minimum size, desired size, and maximum size. So what will happen? When there is a minimum load, there will be minimum number of instances will be running. When there is a medium kind of load, you'll have medium number of instances running. When there is a high load, the maximum number of instances will be running. So you will be having a base configuration, scale out launch instance, scale in terminate instance. So depending upon the load, instance will be up and it will go down. So it will go down to the base. So how it works? You have a auto scaling group. So depending upon the auto scaling group configuration, you have the so what we'll do, you will maintain current number. If you're going for a manual scaling, you should go for min max desired capacity. Schedule scaling, schedule actions, dynamic scaling, scaling policies, predictive scaling, auto scaling. So AWS auto scaling is a predictive scaling. So in dynamic scaling, with the help of CloudWatch, you have a CPU utilization, and with the help of auto scaling configuration, the number of instances will go up or down. So with the help of monitoring, you can do that. So here we, and in the next episode, we'll go for the lab for auto scaling.